welcome to Gather Veterans. Welcome to Michelle. I'm so excited to hear more about your organization with Charlie Mike Life and just everything you guys do. And you had reached out to me, and as we were talking, I'm like, first of all, I think we're soul sisters, which is a whole nother conversation that we could have that will spare everyone else here on Gather Veterans all the details. But just a great organization, a great resource, and anything that we can do to keep getting what we like to call our service provider spotlight information out there, just resources that are out there that some people don't even know about. And this is one of them. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So we're really excited to have you, Michelle. I'm going to kind of turn it over to you. And you can tell us a little bit about Charlie Mike Life, the history, whatever you want to share, what people can expect from you guys. And I'll let you do your thing.
Well, I'm Michelle Foster, and I am the Public Relations Officer at Charlie Mike Life. We are a nonprofit for veterans, and what we do is we provide life coaching and career coaching and all kinds of good stuff for veterans and awesome. Gold and Silver Star families, and it's all free of charge to those members.
That's awesome. Is it typically like the life coaching and career coaching like in their transition phase? Is it for their families as well, or just the veterans? How does that work?
It's mostly for the veterans, but there are situations where a veteran may not want the coaching. And I mean, spouses seriously take a brunt of a lot of the military stuff. Mm-hmm. And so in certain circumstances, we might open that up to the spouses as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's kind of the process that kind of happens? Like, how does someone, when they come across Charlie Mike Life, like, how does all that work?
Come into the website, and what we do is we have a sign-up form. Pretty simple and straightforward. There's a section for veterans and a separate section for the Gold and Silver Star families. And you just sign up. It goes to our people, and we set you up with a coach. And
that's awesome.
From there, the coach walks you through what their process is. And that's about it. After they get to the coaches, obviously we provide support for our coaches and our veterans as well. So
that's awesome. Now, are the coaches paid coaches? Are they volunteer coaches? How does that work? How do you find your coaches?
Everybody at Charlie Mike Life is a volunteer, which is what makes us so unique and so special. Everybody is putting in their time completely, pro bono. We don't charge anything to our veterans, and awesome. Our coaches don't charge anything, and it's just a great business model. I mean, it's working for us. So
that's awesome. So do you guys go on as an organization? Do you guys go off of, donations, supporters, things like that to kind of keep it going? How does that work?
Absolutely. It's going to be 100% donations and corporate sponsors and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. And where did this all begin? Like, what's the history of Charlie Mike Life? I guess we didn't even cover that. I'm like, I wanted to get right into like, what do you offer? Because I think it's so awesome. But what's the history of the organization?
Well, it started out as an idea with our CEO, Chandler. And he just had this idea that, so many veterans get lost, whether that be through substance abuse or PTSD or even suicide. We lose so many veterans. And so Chandler's idea was to, provide a space for those veterans who just are lost. And how I met Chandler is I had just gotten done with getting my coaching certificate. And I saw this guy saying, yeah, I'll mentor coaches, and something about, it was all about veterans. And I was like, I'm there.
Nice.
And since then, I thought I was going to be just, coaching a veteran here or there. And now I have a lot of responsibility. I don't regret a day of it. I don't regret an hour of it. It has been so much fun. Our team is fantastic. Just the greatest group of people that I could even imagine bringing together, and Chandler somehow did it.
That's awesome. So the coaches that are in it, so if people are like, okay, well, what kind of coaches these are these people, type of thing, is there kind of a wide gamut? Is it all over sort of life coaching? Is it particular industries? What does that look like?
We've got everybody. I mean, every coach has their own special unique niche. Everybody brings something to the table. We've got someone for everybody.
A mixture, I'm assuming, of males, females, all of
Yep.
the. Okay, cool. Very
A lot
cool.
of
Very cool.
our coaches are veterans as well. So,
Okay. Okay. And what intrigued you about the veteran end of it when you saw, okay, coaches and veterans, like what was the intrigue about that for you?
well, my story is about 10 years ago, I was homeless. I had nothing. I had the clothes on my back.
Hmm.
And the reason for that was PTSD due to my military background. And I went through a coaching program out in California.
Okay.
And I decided then and there that eventually this is something that I wanted to bring to more people. I wanted to be a coach and I wanted to help people the same way that I had been helped. And so fast forward a few years and lots of therapy and
Right.
um,
And no
lots
shame
of
in
coaching on my
that.
end.
Uh-huh.
And I decided, okay, now is the time. I'm going to take some life coaching courses and I'm going to
Nice.
get certified. And I mean, really, the rest is history. Being a
Awesome.
veteran myself and seeing an organization that was dedicated to helping people like me, it's like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And
That's
so
beautiful.
it was just an exciting opportunity. I jumped right on it. And
That's awesome. Do you guys typically do kind of struggle with maybe a perception of coaching or what it is, or veterans going like, I don't really need it, I get enough health care, mental health, or whatever it might is, like how do you guys might be like, how do you guys work past that? How would you work a veteran or their family through that? Because I'm assuming sometimes that happens.
well, there's a difference between coaching and therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy deals more in the past and what led up to the situation and, dealing with the trauma in a past sense. Coaching deals with the here and now and what you can do going forward to help yourself move forward. But yeah, so with coaching, we deal with what can you do today to move forward tomorrow? What can you do right now that's going to help you out in the future instead of dealing with past trauma and past all of that big ball of
Sure.
wax? We are not
Right.
therapists. And that's one thing that we have to really, really kind of pound into the brains of some people. Like, we're not therapists. You are in control of how coaching goes.
Mm.
Where a therapist is kind of like in control of therapy, this is completely veteran led. Wherever you want to go with the coaching is where we go.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I think there's sometimes that confusion, and I'm in that world myself personally, where it's like, are you do therapy? Can you solve this problem? I'm like, I can't solve your problems. If I could find someone to solve my problems, you think that I would, like, you don't think I would make $1 billion off that? Yeah, that'd be a gold mine. But yeah, I like the fact that kind of differentiating between therapy and coaching and how it can help veterans. And I know there's obviously some confidentiality things and things like that, but what's like the main things that you guys see coming into coaching? Is it, people have, are worked on their PTSD, maybe there's some family issues, maybe there's personal goals coming out of the military. I don't know what kind of runs the gamut that you guys have seen.
Transitional things are really hard because you go from a structure where, everything, you don't really have to think while you're in the military. I mean, that's just all
Mm-hmm.
there is to it. You wake up, you know what you're doing from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed at night.
Right.
And a lot of time what happens when you get out of the military is you lose all of that. I mean, you're just kind of left to your own. They're getting better about it, but there wasn't really a great transitional program. Like when I got out of the military, they just cut you loose and that was it.
Wow. It's so
And
mind
so
boggling to me. So mind boggling.
and so, you're left with the sense of loss. I mean, you rely on your fellow veterans 24/7 and all of a sudden you're just by yourself, and that sense of isolation can be extremely overwhelming, and just not knowing what to do with yourself and trying to keep that discipline.
Right.
is a big problem as well.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. I can't imagine like, and I'm not a veteran, so I can't imagine going from the military, like you said, super, super structured to then all of a sudden be like, here you go, figure it out. I mean, I had a tough enough time transitioning just out of college into adulthood. So I can't imagine like going from the military structure to, everyday normal life, as they like to call it, the civilian life, just that's mind boggling to me. So definitely a resource there for those that are kind of going through. What about maybe those that have already gone through the transition, but maybe they're at a different point in their life, or maybe they're kind of in that midlife type of thing, like, how do I deal with this? How can I move forward? Do you have a lot of people that come through there, like come in that stage of life?
We've had people with anything from, relationship problems to, I need help writing a resume. It's just,
Nice.
we really cover everything. I mean, whatever the veteran needs to move forward, we can find a way to make it happen.
That's awesome. Yeah, so it's not just having issues or problems necessarily. It might be job searching or resume writing or kind of taking that next leap, whatever it might look like. That's beautiful. I guess my question too with that would be, is there a lot of ratio between the veterans who come in and the coaches? Like, how quickly can veterans get paired with the coach? Are you guys like still looking for, like, how is that looking for you guys? Are you guys like totally inundated? We're like, oh, or do you need veterans to come in?
A combination of both. I mean, we always have room for more coaches, and we always have room for more veterans. So it's kind of, it all evens itself out.
So it is, if there's coaches out there that kind of want to do this, work with veterans, volunteer, give of their time type thing, but then also too, veterans who need that extra, I like to call that extra push, that extra little accountability piece, the extra, okay, someone actually listening to something I want to accomplish or do moving forward versus always talking about the past. So yeah, that's super cool. So where's the name Charlie Mike Life? Where does that come from?
Charlie Mike is part of the military phonetic alphabet. Charlie C, Mike M. And what that means in the military is continuing mission.
Love
and it. So our continuing mission is life. However people want to take that. We want to make sure that every veteran is covered and that we leave no man behind. And, we hook people up with whatever they need to move forward in their life.
That's awesome. I love it. I kind of figured that was the meaning of it, but I wanted to put it out there. Let you describe it versus me trying to piece it together for people. And I threw your Facebook page and your website up there too. So going into kind of the future for you guys as an organization, what are some of the things that you guys are looking for that we can help as communities, as leaders in the veteran community, to kind of make sure that you guys stay around? Because this is a free resource, free life coaching, which is few and far between. I'm in the coaching world myself, and I'm like, to get good, legit, free coaching, like that's a huge benefit. Huge. Like, I'm not sure that people like can feel like, oh, I'm like,
I don't think people realize that, how much coaching can cost.
Yes.
And we're just offering it for like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's completely free to our veterans. And so,
which is totally like, that's awesome. Like, yeah, because coaching is not inexpensive, trust me. And like you said, Michelle, it's like the world, it's not an inexpensive world. So for it to be free, like that's a huge, but also too, that little caveat there, that disclaimer that the veteran has to be ready to do some work too. It doesn't come with like, here's just everything you need in this nice packet and it's all going to work for you.
Well, you can kind of back me up on that. I said that it's completely veteran led. What you get out of coaching is completely up to you. Mm-hmm. You can go so far with coaching, or you can be exactly where you were yesterday. It's completely up to you.
So going into that, so is there anything that we can help? Do we need to help spread the word about sponsors? Obviously, share their resource. What do you guys need on your end?
We need sponsors, we need volunteers, and not just coaching volunteers. If you have any skills whatsoever, you have a place at Charlie Mike Life. We are in need of all kinds of people. Social media people. If you are good at social media, we can use you. If you are good at um, getting people organized. If you are a personal assistant that needs some volunteer hours, we can use you. I mean, there's just a wide gamut of things that need to be done.
Right.
And there's just enough hours, there's not enough hours in a day to get it all done.
It's you, obviously, as the PR person and the all encompassing person, Michelle, who's super awesome. But like, are there other people that are kind of helping behind the scenes? You guys have like a board. How does that all look? Or can people just kind of jump in?
Our board is the most awesome group of people. I just can't say enough about how honored and blessed I am to have found this group of people. They are just amazing. Awesome. We all get along.
Good. So anyone can any sort of skill set that you think might be of value to veterans who are human beings, by the way. So it's not like it puts this like extra category or anything like that. If you have a skill set, then definitely I think that if you think it would fit into Charlie Mike Life, that's great. That's great to know, even if you're not a coach or something of that sort. That's awesome. Quick question. What city are you guys located in, Michelle?
Our corporate headquarters is in Florida, but I am in Michigan, and our coaches are all over.
So a lot of it can be done virtually as well. So you're seeing virtual coaching as well. Do you do any in-person coaching?
Not at this time. Everything is virtual.
Okay.
Well, it would have to be anyway, but
right now, right. You don't have a choice.
So we were like social distancing before it was a thing.
You guys are just that progressive, right? You're just on the ball.
We were just like ahead of the curve.
Oh, good. Okay, so virtual, good. So that's good to know. You don't have to be in any one location. So let's spread the word about you guys all over the nation and everywhere we go. I will actually share your information too. We are expanding as Gather Veterans. We're expanding down into San Antonio area, which is super cool. Military city. Yeah. So it might be a really good resource down that way too, since coaches are all over, which is great because then people can find who they relate to. Everyone's going to come from all walks of life. That's really beautiful. So just send veterans your way and coaches and people who have skills.
Everybody comes
Anyone and everyone, go check out Charlie Mike Life. Like I said, their Facebook page is up there, their website's up there. If you know of a veteran who needs this resource, you guys, free coaching. Let me say this again. Free life coaching, career coaching, any sort of coaching is a huge value. And if you can help a veteran out and make sure that they are going to that next level in life, you need to check out Charlie Mike Life. I'm really excited that you found us and that we could talk about it and get it out there because it's a passion of mine. So kind of a little selfish, personal on my end too. But man, what a great resource for veterans and their families. Outstanding.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. And thanks for joining us. And we'll get the word out and we will actually give you a copy of this so you can share it out to the world as well. But thanks, Michelle, for joining us.
Thank
All
you.
right. Talk to you soon, hon.
Bye.
Bye.